If you want to see more detailed images, videos, and the full article, check the link in the description. Tensions in the Middle East have escalated dramatically following a series of events that began with Israel's attack on Iranian nuclear sites. This prompted retaliatory missile strikes from Tehran against Tel Aviv, causing a significant surge in global oil prices. Brent crude, already experiencing a 10% increase since mid-June, reached approximately $77 a barrel before the latest developments. The situation took a further alarming turn when the United States, following Israel's actions, launched its own attack on Iranian nuclear facilities. This aggressive escalation has sent shockwaves through global markets, with analysts predicting a potential price spike of up to $5 per barrel even before the latest Iranian parliamentary vote. Iran's parliament subsequently voted to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, a vital shipping channel responsible for transporting a fifth of the world's oil consumption. While this vote isn't legally binding, the final decision resting with the Supreme National Security Council, the mere suggestion has fueled further anxiety about potential disruptions to the global oil supply and the possibility of a global recession. The international community is watching with bated breath. Meanwhile, events in Gaza continue to unfold, largely overshadowed by the escalating conflict between Iran and the US-Israel alliance. Reports indicate ongoing Israeli actions resulting in significant casualties among the Palestinian population. The exact death toll remains unclear, but medical authorities in Gaza cite figures around 450 deaths and thousands of injuries over the past 12 days, while Israeli forces offer a considerably different account. These conflicting narratives underscore the immense challenges in obtaining an accurate and unbiased assessment of the situation on the ground. Adding to the complexity of this crisis, reports emerged of Israeli massacres in Gaza. Accounts detail the dangerous conditions faced by desperate Palestinians seeking food aid amidst the ongoing violence. Eyewitnesses describe the perilous journey to distribution centers, with constant fear of stray bullets and shelling. The discrepancy between the reported casualties and the official statements from the IDF highlights a significant information gap, leaving the international community to piece together the events from fragmented reports and conflicting narratives. The unfolding events have triggered a flurry of international responses. The UK, France, and Germany issued a joint statement urging Iran to refrain from any actions that could destabilize the region further. The US Secretary of State, while denying any immediate plans for further military operations, has emphasized that the US is not seeking war with Iran. This statement, however, offers little comfort given the already escalating situation. Contrasting statements from Iranian officials add another layer of uncertainty. While the health ministry reported that none of the wounded from the attacks showed signs of radioactive contamination, the foreign minister warned of far-reaching implications from the US attack, and refused to rule out restricting global trade or withdrawing from the nuclear treaty. These statements highlight the potential for a multifaceted crisis that could extend beyond regional instability. Strong condemnations poured in from various global powers. China voiced its strong condemnation of the US bombing of Iran, while Russia labeled the US airstrikes as irresponsible. These statements reflect a growing international concern about the potential for uncontrolled escalation and further regional instability. These are not merely isolated incidents, they represent a clear challenge to global order and stability. The international community has been scrambling to respond to this crisis. The UN Secretary-General warned against another cycle of destruction and retaliation, expressing fears that the region is descending into a dangerous spiral of escalating conflict. The IAEA director also called for restraint, emphasizing the importance of returning to dialogue and diplomacy to prevent a further catastrophic escalation. These calls highlight the shared international concern about the potential for uncontrolled escalation. Several nations have initiated plans to evacuate their citizens from the affected areas. New Zealand announced its plans to deploy a C-130J Hercules aircraft to the Middle East, while France is sending military aircraft to Israel to facilitate the evacuation of its citizens. The logistics of these evacuations are complicated by airspace closures, adding another layer of difficulty to the already volatile situation. Countries such as Israel, overwhelmed with evacuation requests, reported huge numbers of applications to leave the country, further highlighting the sense of urgency and fear gripping the region. Many airlines have cancelled flights to and from the affected regions. Amidst the chaos and uncertainty, the situation continues to evolve rapidly. The Iranian foreign minister's trip to Moscow for talks with President Putin indicates the efforts various nations are making to navigate this rapidly escalating crisis. This meeting signifies the geopolitical complexities involved and underscores the need for concerted international action to de-escalate tensions before they spiral completely out of control. The statements from both countries on the situation highlight the significant concerns among major global players. The potential ramifications of further escalation are immense, with global economic stability hanging in the balance. President Trump's comments further complicate the already volatile situation. He has suggested regime change in Iran, threatening future attacks if peace is not established. These comments, coupled with his assertion that the US and Israel acted as a team in the strikes, underscore the strong alliance between the two nations, highlighting the increasingly complex and precarious geopolitical dynamics at play. The situation calls for immediate and concerted international action. The continuing violence in Gaza, coupled with the escalating conflict between Iran and the US-Israel alliance, demonstrates the urgency for diplomatic solutions. The international community must find a way to de-escalate tensions and prevent a wider, more devastating conflict. The potential for a regional conflagration and its ripple effects on the global economy are far-reaching and demand a swift and decisive response. The current situation demands international cooperation and decisive diplomatic efforts to avert a larger-scale conflict. The absence of effective diplomatic engagement presents a grave risk to international peace and security. The implications of inaction are catastrophic.